I don't know. I mean, we can't lose sight of the fact that it's pretty weird. The people have spoken. Now, screw the people, I guess.
And welcome back to Square Off. That was John McCain pal Grant Woods commenting on Doug Ducey's appointment of Martha McSally to the U.S. Senate. Kind of weird, he said. Now, Woods says McSally's appointment makes it more likely he'll run for the Senate in 2020 as a Democrat. We're looking ahead now to 2020 because it feels like it really is here. It's not even 2019 yet. I want to get some disclosures out of the way. Lisa, you've done work for some Democrats we might be talking about.
Yes.
Who are they?
Oh, Congressman Ruben Gallego and Congressman-elect Greg Stanton.
Okay, their names might come up. Kim, any disclosures on that front? Candidates? All right, good stuff. Grant Woods, former Republican Attorney General, but in recent years an endorser of Democrats, has been a registered Democrat for just 44 days. Yet he plans to, he's in the planning for running as a Democrat, working with Kyrsten Sinema. Can he get out of a Democratic primary?
No, I don't think he can.
Why not?
Grant Woods, I think, did great work, in his time as Attorney General. But in the last few years, we have seen him chair Governor Brewer's campaign after SB 1070. I think a lot of stuff will still come out about the Fiesta Bowl scandal. There's a lot of...
He was a lawyer involved in representing some people in that scandal.
Yes.
About 10 years ago.
Yes, and so I think there's not only a lot of baggage, but things that show that coming over to the Democratic Party and re-registering doesn't mean you're a Democrat, and going up against real Democrats and progressives, I don't know how he stands a chance in a primary like that.
I hear Kyrsten Sinema is helping him try to clear the field. Is that even a possibility?
I don't know that that's a possibility, and I don't know if that's actually happening, but we can talk about some Democrats who I know are talking about this, so I do not see that as a clear field in any way, shape, or form.
Would Republicans look at Grant Woods, welcome him as an opponent for Martha McSally in 2020?
As a Democrat?
As a Democrat.
Bring it on.
Bring it on, okay.
The man has not been a Republican in decades. Even when he was helping Brewer, that same year he endorsed Felicia Rodolini for Attorney General. He's bifurcated his position all along. And his comment is really disrespectful to the over 1 million voters who did vote for Martha McSally. Do you know you have to go back to 1980 to find a closer senatorial race in the state? And that was Goldwater. So this whole idea that for some reason, because Sinema won, that now we're purple, it was one race. And there were a few others, but this is the history of Arizona. If you go back, it's the way it's been. So,
well, the way it's been almost 40 years ago.
Yeah,
that's
so
40. That's kind of right now. That's ancient history.
Yeah, it is ancient history. But the talk about, oh, you just disregarded the voters. Over 1 million voters voted for Martha McSally in what in the last 40 years was the closest senatorial race we've seen. I think that what Governor Ducey did was show respect to those voters, to all of Arizona, letting Senator Sinema become the senior senator, as she should, and put things in order.
So many Republicans didn't like the campaign Martha McSally ran. I hear that a lot. What should she do differently in 2020? And can she do it differently after we had a campaign where we saw the most money spent, the most expensive campaign ever? The images of McSally and Sinema are embedded in viewers' minds. How do you separate yourself from that if you think you need to change?
Martha doesn't need to change. Martha needs to be Martha. The best campaign Martha can run is being who she really is. The campaign she ran was something that her consultants, rightly or wrongly, felt was best to get her elected. That proved to not be correct. Their political calculus didn't work out. Martha has won before. She knows how to win again. She'll prove herself in the Senate with how she governs, and that will speak for itself as well.
Okay, on the D side, we're hearing names like Congressman Ruben Gallego.
So
let's get this out. Mark Kelly, astronaut and husband of Gabby Giffords. Perhaps Greg Stanton, I don't know.
Well, so first, I think we are a purple state, and the Senate race was one of many races, and the House having such a close margin, we're trending that way. So I do think we are a purple state. On the Democratic side, we are excited about the great candidates. I've heard from reliable sources that both Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego are calling top Democrats and feeling things out. So we could have them talking about some type of announcement soon. And I think if those two decided not to, people are going to be looking to Greg Stanton election, you know, in a competitive congressional seat, he won by 22 points, and that was a shock to a lot of people. And
he will have been a member of Congress for about a year if he does launch.
Well, that's why I'm not saying he is putting his name in the mix, but if those two, for some reason, Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego, decided against it, I think people would be pushing Greg Stanton to do this.
And do you think Martha McSally would face a Republican primary in 2020?
The difference in Republican primaries and Democrat primaries is historically we do have competitive primaries.
Actually, historically, you do have primaries.
Exactly. We actually do have primaries where the Democrats tend to not have a primary.
We're changing.
So to say if we would or wouldn't is just speculation.
So much can change.
So much
by
can
2020.
And
That's right.
And I will add, you know, Mark Kelly, not just his resume, fighter pilot, astronaut, you know, over the last 5 years, he's raised $75 million, money nationally through his and Gabby's organization. There's a fundraising base there, Ruben's progressive base. I think we're excited about these candidates, and those are.
And let's give folks a quick warning. We will be a battleground again in 2020,
Absolutely.
right? Right. So
Absolutely.
1,000 TV ads a day. Get ready for it, folks. Kim Owens, Lisa Fernandez, thanks so much for joining us. Merry Christmas to you both.
And to you.